Hey guys, this is Midget and welcome to another episode of my Derby Creamer. Just before I get into the episode, I want to say how delighted I am with our win over Nottingham yesterday. The Scums got what they deserved. I was there and it was an absolutely amazing atmosphere. I was cheering on the lads too. I was the one singing. It was really quite fun. As soon as that first goal went in, we all went ballistic, and I loved them. I loved how after every single goal we scored, we started going, "Who are you?" to Nottingham fans. It was just hilarious, because we did it 5 times. We could have got it at 6, but Johnny Russell missed that last chance to get a 6th goal. But anyway, let's get straight into the episode here. So, in the 32nd minute, Russell missed a chance, and in the 55th. We went and tackled one of the Swansea people through Hughes, and Hughes only played 5 minutes in the Nottingham game, but that's nothing, to be honest. But here, this was a good chance for Swansea, probably their best. And sorry about that black thing on your screen. It's to hide my identity, and not because I want to hide it. It's just on PS4 feature. But a couple of minutes later, Danny Ings went through and skied a shot. In the 88th minute, it's 0-0. Are we going to have a pointless 0-0 draw against Swansea? Good side, a tough side, a bogey team, I would say. Bolly runs down the wing, crosses it in, and probably the smallest man on the pitch, Ward, manages to head it past Vorm and get the ball and run straight back to the line. He was an absolute legend yesterday. Shame he got injured. But without him getting injured, we wouldn't have the 4th goal, I believe. 4th goal with Johnny Russell, where he smacked it from outside the box. I was at goal end of that one, and since he's my favourite player, after everyone else stopped clapping, I shouted. "Come on, Russell," or something. He didn't see me, unfortunately, or he didn't. I don't think he heard me. But it's still a lovely feeling, making your best player scoring an absolute wonder goal, and that's why I brought him back, to be honest. But now we go into the game against Chelsea, and as you can tell by the title, Martin's. I don't know what I've called it yet because I'm just recording this, but Martin's. I don't know. Free kick, something along those lines. It comes in this game, it's an absolutely stunning free kick. I think it's Martin's. I don't know. I can't even. Martin's driving free kick. I don't know. Something along those lines. I'll call the episode. So it's in this episode. But Chelsea put up a very good side. The only players I was really worried about. Not worried about, but worried isn't in the sense that confused about was Mark Schwarzer. Why is he in? Because Czech went to Juventus for 7.5 million, but already in the first couple of minutes we showed our incentive. Last time we won Chelsea 2-0. And here, Bolly took it on the full, but just missed. It was kind of a cluster in the box. But in the 9th minute, Chelsea show how clinical they are. With the first chance of the game, Etu manages to slot it past Legends, and we find ourselves 1-0 down at home to the Stamford Bridge team. I wasn't too mad, because I know I'm going to lose the games against Chelsea and, the top teams, because I'm nowhere near them class-wise. But it was just kind of disappointing because I was the one that was creating the most chances, but I find that Chelsea are very clinical, that's why they scored there. But I was really sad. But straight from kick-off, what's going to happen when I don't cut it out, don't you? So we passed it through to Bolly. I think he through balls it through to Wisdom, and David Luiz makes a challenge on Martin there and trips him up in the penalty. I was like, surely that's a penalty, but the ref wasn't running, so I was like, what the hell? Why isn't it a corner? Why isn't it a penalty? But then I decide to look through my free kick takers because I want to get a direct free kick, and I go to Martin and I drive it, and it manages to find the back of the net, and that is one of the best goals I've scored, because dead ball situations are really hard to get a goal out of, and I managed to get one there. I was like, what the hell, how did I score that, if it was Czech I definitely wouldn't have scored, but I loved how he just smacked it, and all the defenders, it just went straight past the defenders, right? It was just right next to the defenders. I just loved it, and Schwarzer obviously couldn't see the ball. That's why, he didn't get there, unfortunately. But I decided, since it was such a good goal, it's a free kick, I decided to show you the sliders. I'm not playing with any sliders here. You can actually tell. And yeah, so I was going on about this game because I was talking to myself, going, oh, I can't believe I scored that goal. But in the 32nd minute, we decided to chip it over to Martin, and he volleys it, and it's straight past Schwarzer. So out of going 1-0 down, we managed to secure the comeback, I should say, and go 2-1 up against the league leaders at this point. And I was like, oh, this is so good, because I don't understand how it's just I've yet to lose against Chelsea in this career mode. I won them 2-0 playing away, and now I'm 2-1 up at home at Pride Park. I was like, oh Jesus, this is amazing. But in the 59th minute, Eto'o managed to control it beautifully and decided. I think he was looking for a bit there. Since we're one of the smaller teams, the ref gave it against us, and you can see Daniel Carico was very furious with the ref. I skipped there, but you should, if you just want to rewind it. He got the ball and nudged Eto'o away with his side, which is completely fine football rules wise, so it shouldn't have really been a penalty. But never mind. What happens. It's against Chelsea, leading 2-1. I should be grateful. And Hazard slots it away perfectly. Hazard's not going to miss. Being one of the best upcoming players. He's already a beast, but at the age of 23, he's still got a lot to prove in himself. So he's one of the best upcoming players. And we end up drawing that game 2-2 against Chelsea. But I wasn't really disappointed. I was disappointed at the fact that I had more shots and still drew the game. But it is against Chelsea, and they're very clinical. But Hughes wanted more wages, and I was going to give it him. Although, if you look at it, I offered him an important first team player, but I had to up his wages a bit because Junior Melander's better rating. I want to use Junior Melander now as my first team player, so I decided to put him as an important. And that's the reason behind that. I offered him more wages but a lower squad roll. But now going into the Southampton game, last time we played them, it was 1-0 to Southampton, and I wasn't feeling confident because I had such a poor team to work with, because everyone was out of fitness, because these games are absolutely awfully spaced out. I just don't know how you have 10 day breaks, but instead of having a game 5 days in the break, there's a game like 1 day after the first game, and then you have a 10-game break. Why can't it just be like a 5-day break, put another one in, and have another 5-day break? But Boris kicks it out, it goes straight to Lallana, I can't tackle him, and he finishes in 22nd minute, and he was going, come on lads, I just celebrate with him, rubbing it in my face. I was like, screw you. I just couldn't believe this goal. It was so lucky on his half, on the computer's behalf. How Boris kicked it out, went straight to Lallana. But I think that's half time. And the best chance of the game was this one after after half time. That was the best chance of the game, and it went incredibly wide. And also, it was a pretty even enough game in my opinion. I had more shots and more on target, but it was even enough game. But it was a pretty boring one, so I didn't really want to show you anything. But Will Hughes just says he doesn't want that. He wants a bigger squad roll. But I decided to be a bit cheeky here. I offer him $5,000, but I don't offer him a squad roll. So I was like, if he accepts this, he can't complain because he doesn't know what squad roll is. But so I'm going to keep him on the bench. He's going to be an important first team player, guys. But he's he doesn't know his squad roll, so he's not going to complain. So it's all fine. But here I decided to give a debut to Milanov. Because I was running low on centre backs, that's why basically I put him in, because Keo was really in the yellows because it's one day after the other game. But in the 10th minute, you could see that we were low on fitness, as I think that's Anita slots it past our keeper Legends. Everyone was out of fitness there. Milanov was there to be criticised, as he didn't make a lunge or anything. But then a couple of minutes later, De Jong gets tackled by Legends, but I think that's Gouffran, chips the keeper, and De Jong was about to hit it in the net. But if you look at the replay, 'cause there's only one replay in this because I decided to look at my phone, it was all the replay, so it's kind of the screwed up replay, because you won't see the plays going back. But look at this. When you see this, what Luke De Jong was going to do, he was going to hit it out, sort of. He was going to hit it out. I was laughing my head off. But like 3 minutes later, we decided to cross it into, I think that's Danny Ings, our saviour. And he manages to score and restore at least a glimmer of hope for us, consolation goal, which was absolutely, great, because the last time I played Newcastle it was 1-1. I managed to play out 1-1 in my old career mode. But here, I'm more confident. I'm a better player, I would say. And yes, so we win a corner. And, since I've not cut this bit out, we end up scoring the corner. I think it's with Eric Dier, I'm not sure who. Wasn't too bad this game, he was actually a pretty decent centre-back, but may judge him in a second, judging on what happens in minutes. But that was a really, really lovely goal. And yeah, so here, yeah, again, Milanov is there to blame, but he's played one game this whole season, so I'm not going to blame him. You know, he is only a 61 rated centre back, so you know, there's nothing to thinking. But Rodrigo manages to put it in the net with a head, and so basically ends 3-2. And yeah, so this was the end of this episode, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, make sure to share it with your friends and all that jazz. And yeah, so another one will be out tomorrow, and yeah, so Will Hughes accepts the deal. And yeah, so this is Midget, and I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, which will be tomorrow. Peace out.